first. Okay, welcome back to the AJV channel. In today's video, we have got, you won't believe what we've got today. We have got the Supreme 4 right here, all 4 of them, up against our Breakers. I believe they're called Breakers. Breakers, but not, they don't break bays, obviously. But yeah, so basically I've got the Takaratomi combos, all the original Hasbro combos, if you can find them, on the Drasil and Drigger. Now, I could not find the original white and the original green Drasil back in the day, so that's what we've got. We've obviously got Dronza right there. We've got Dragoon right there. We've got Zillion Zutron, Storm Spryzen, Xeno Excalius X2, Lost Luonor right there. And yeah, obviously, they're going to go up against each other in a little mini tournament. And we're going to find out which team is better, which legendary bays are better. Is the Breakers or Team Supreme 4? Tell me in the comments below, do you like the Supreme 4 better or the Breakers? Now, I like the Supreme 4 better personally, but obviously it's up to you in the comments below. Also, be sure to like the video. It helps out the channel, helps out the video, obviously. And subscribe, keep the channel alive, you know? And yeah, let's continue. So, I think we're going to have these two go up against each other, Drasil and Zutron first. And then we should also have, let's see, Dronza, Drigger up against Xeno Excalius. And then we'll have Dronza up against Storm Spryzen. Kai versus Shu, that will be very nice to watch. And Lost Luonor up against Dragoon right there. So let's get into it. We're going to start off with our Drasil versus Zutron right there. Central place, infinite weight. Let's get into it. First to 5 in the Pro Series Stadium. So let's do it. Okay, so we got the first round, Zillion Zutron up against our Drasil. Our red, candy red Drasil. So comment, who do you got? Do you have Breakers or do you have the Supreme 4? And Drasil with a burst straight out the gate. Drasil already up 2 points here. Drasil up against Zillion Zutron. Zutron going around and around. Can Drasil keep the intensity up? Drasil has put Zutron in a very bad spot here. And it's not looking good for Zutron right now. Hopefully Shu, and another burst. Hopefully Shu and Louis don't have to carry the entire team, but it looks like that might be becoming a reality. Alright, let's see. Can Zillion Zutron even get a point against Drasil here? Drasil around and around. Up against Zutron. I like Zack the Sunrise, but he is not having a fun time up against our Drasil right here. Drasil showing that he is the best passive bay out of these two groups. And Drasil takes it 5-0. Wasn't even close. So that means he will face the winner of Louis versus Tyson. But it depends though, because if Louis doesn't win, that means that he gets a bypass, I think. It's weird, but you'll understand what I'm saying sooner than later. But anyway, now we've got Xeno Excalius up against Drigger right here. Let's get into it. The Tiger up against the Sword right here. Drasil is just going to have a blast with a burst finish right there. 2 points to Drasil. Anyway, I was talking about Drigger. Yeah, Drigger in the lead and a one-hit burst right there from Xeno Excalius. The power of the Saber Strike right there. The Xeno Saber. 2-2. What's happening? We're all tied up. Right, let's continue. Drigger up again. Xeno Excalius lost a lot of stamina there. But we are tied up here. 2-2. Can Xander take down Drigger? And he cannot. That is 3-2. Alright, let's continue here. Drigger against our Xander with his Xenoexcalius X2 here. And Xenoexcalius, hang on, against Drigger. And 4-0, Drigger. So far, the BLADEBREAKERS are running away with this right now. And a double burst! What a way! What a way, the only way for Xeno to create a little bit of time here. What just happened? Let's continue. We got Drigger. We've got Xenoexcalius. Big hit from Xeno. Xeno's not going to hold anything back here because he knows for a fact. Excalius knows for a fact that if he does not take this win, it is over. In a burst, we're tied up 4-4. Xenoexcalius, so far, so good for him. Oh, big mistake. And he didn't get hit though, so that is a mislaunch. So lucky for Excalius there. He made such a big mistake there, but he did not get hit, so that means this match is still underway, but it's 4-4. Okay, we're all tied up here, 4-4. Xeno has to try his very best to take down Drigger. Drigger's been in control of this matchup the entire time. And just a little bit of power might go a long way for Excalius in a burst. Right there, Drigger helps the BLADEBREAKERS defeat 2 of the Supreme 4. Alright, this might be the most anticipated matchup of the video. Kai up against Shu. Spread, Unite up against Knuckle Unite. Basically the same combos, but who's got the win? Shu really needs to come in clutch here for the Supreme 4, or it's going to be Louis all by himself. And Louis has a great bay, lost Luon or L2, but that's going to be very hard to beat every single BLADEBREAKER. That's going to be very hard to do. So hopefully Shu can help Louis a little bit here. Let's find out. Okay, so first round, we've got Shu up against Kai. And Kai is taking no expense there. And has a mislaunch. Okay, let's continue here. We've got Shu up against Kai. And this time, Kai goes in the same pocket, but Shu put him there. That's 1 point for Storm Sprazen. Back Kai. And oh, hold up. Bronzer with a ring out of his own. 1-1. Let's continue. And a burst. Priority. Dronza takes that L 3-1. Both days, and that is a mislaunch right there for Shu. And let's continue. Shu up against Kai. Kai with a hit there. 2-3. Kai staying in this. Shu up against Kai once again. Control of staying alive, 3-3. What's funny though is the plastic jet are very average normally, and all of a sudden I have ignited a fire underneath them, and they are now trying here. 3-4, but Shu keeps it up and keeps it in the lead. Storm Sprazen, 4-3. Oh, whoa! A double burst. We're having crazy bursts right here. And that's no man's land right there. So we're going to have to go into another round. Okay, so I actually looked at the replay. And if you look at it close enough, Shu with his Storm Sprazen actually did burst Dronza first. So that does mean that Dronza is eliminated and then it's the first BLADEBREAKER out. And all Los Luna's got to do to keep this into a 2-2 scenario is beat Dragoon right here. Winged Extreme up against 9 Spiral. Let's get it. Alright, this should be a walk in the park to lose to Asagi here. And first round is going to be a mislaunch. I do not like the mislaunches. I like to get straight into the action. Alright, second round. Los Luonor up against Dragoon here. Can Dragoon perhaps even compete with Los Luonor? And a burst, 2 points. Los Luonor. Alright, round number 3. Luonor in 2 points in the lead here. And there's a ring out right right there. Lost Luminor, 3-0. Alright, let's continue. Lost Luminor up against Dragoon. 3-0 so far. Dragoon's got to watch out because if he bursts, it's over. And this is the biggest landslide of any matchup so far. And yes, it is. Chops his head off right there. Lost Luminor takes the burst finish and ties it up with 2 bays remaining for both Bay Breakers and the 4 Spin Emperors. So these are the remaining bays left. On Bay Breaker side, we have Drasil and Drigger. And on the Spin Emperor, aka Supreme 4, we have Sprazen and Louis. So we're going to go red up against red, and then Louis up against Drigger. Let's get into it. We're going to start off with our first 2, which is Sprazen up against Drasil. Let's get into it. Now this matchup is very important because these 2 bays should be considered impressive base for both sides, and if they don't miss launch like they did just then, this matchup could be very, very close. Let's continue. I mean, it's very hard for Luminor to defeat any bay on press. I have done the co-base matchups before, so it shouldn't be any different with Drasil, so Sprazen definitely needs to try to get rid of Drasil here. Needs to dispatch of Drasil as fast as possible. And 1 spin finish right there for Shu. Alright, round 2 between these 2. We've got Shu and we've got Drasil. I don't know the owner of this bay. I'm having a blank with that. Well, I do know the owner, but I've had a blank, so yeah, that sucks. Okay, Drasil trying to hang on here. And Shu hangs on and takes a 2-0 lead right there. Alright, let's continue. Drasil up against Storm Sprazen. It would kind of make sense for... It would make more sense instead of Drasil versus Louis and Lost Luminor. It would make more sense for Drigger to take on Sprazen. Both balance that base. Both very popular Beyblades in their time, but Storm Sprazen might be doing that, but can Drigger hold up that end of the bargain? So yeah, it is indeed 3. Never mind, it's 3-0. Anyway, like I said, it is indeed 3-0, and it's not looking good for any fans of the Bay Breakers in terms of Drasil here. Drasil might be the bay that has the best odds against the Spin Emperors or the Supreme 4, whichever way you'd like to call them. Bay Breakers are going to have a tough time here against the Supreme 4. But Drasil with a spin finish. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Drasil gets a spin finish. Much needed, 1-3 right now. Can Drasil hang on here and perhaps get a little bit of a second win, maybe even a comeback, maybe even take the win or tie it up 3-3. So far, 3-1. Or was that just a lucky fluke spin finish right there for Drasil? 4-1. Alright, Storm Sprazen up against Drasil here. Drasil going around and around. Drasil should be really just trying to get into the center of the stadium and trying to keep as much stamina as possible, because going around like that does normally wear out the Beyblade spin, which is never a good thing, especially when you're trying to beat very competitive bays of the era. And I think I'm going to give that to Drasil. I really do. Drasil just hang on there. 2-4 right there. Can Drasil put away Sprazen? Probably not. Not the way that this is going, but 2-4. Difference is 2 points. The biggest gap of this match was 3. So the gap has came down a tiny bit, 1/3. Which I'm not sure if that's going to matter too much. 2-4. Sprazen just needs to win one more match. One more match with Drasil. Take him out, and it's 3-4, just like that. Turtle Bay is proving to be a bit of a struggle here the Shu Kurenai and Storm Spraz and Drasil. Defense is going like haywire. The defense is going haywire, and that is going to be very tough for Spraz in here. Drasil really trying to get this comeback win here against Spraz, and it's going to be close, but Storm Spraz, it moves on to the final round if we need a final round, because if Drigger loses to Lost Luinor, we will not need a final round, and Drasil will lose. So Drasil's going to have to carry Team Beyblade on his back here against the 4 Spin Emperors, because he is the last Beyblade remaining. Can he perhaps defeat Luinor and Storm Spraz? Well, he's going to have to take down Lost Luinor first. Let's see if he can do it. Okay, here we go. Drigger, Lost Luinor. So Drigger really has the deck stacked against him here. Drigger's going to have to take down debatably the 2 best members of the Supreme 4. And that is going to be a challenge in itself. But Drigger is a very tough beta beat as well. So it's still going to be a bit of a competition. And Drigger, I would say that's a tie. Comment down below if you think someone else got that, but I believe that's a tie. I'm definitely saying that this matchup is too important right now for me to accidentally call the wrong thing. What? There's no way. There's no way. He just did that. He burst Lost Luinor 2 points to Drigger. Lost Luinor. I repeat, Lost Luinor just got bursted by a Generation Bay and just got a mislaunch there. Drigger could potentially take this. All he's got to do is just get Lost Luinor to mislaunch one more time, which is not going to happen now because there was contact there. But let's see, can Drigger get any type of momentum here? Drigger 2 points ahead. This is how you want to be if you're versing Lost Luinor. You want to be 2 points ahead of him. Because that means even if he gets that little cheeky burst, you can still fight back. And Drigger, 3 points up. Alright, let's continue. Lost Luinor up against Drigger. And a burst right there. 3-2. We're going to have to use the power of the Lost Spiral. Lost Spiral right there, up against Drigger. Lost Spiral does not connect at all. Luinor trying to spin steal here. Can Luinor get anything going? And Drigger 4-2. Here we go. We got Lost Luinor. We got Drigger. Right there. Drigger up against Lost Luinor, and we're tied up 4-4. Is this the end of Beyblade, or are they going to go into that final round in the next round? There's only one way to find out. That's by watching the next round. Let's do it. What a way. If he's going to eliminate Lost Luinor, what a way to do it. If Lost Luinor's going to take out Drigger, not a bad way for him to go out. And what? Drigger, I repeat, Drigger just took down Luinor. We're moving on to that final round. Looks like it. Spraz up against Drigger. Comment who you've got in the final round. Here we go. These two bays have never touched in the stadium before on my YouTube channel, on our YouTube channel, and that just changed just 2 seconds ago. And this is going to be a match to remember, I reckon, because these two bays very similar in movements. Drigger with an amazing upset. What a way to take down Lost Luinor. And he gets a spin finish on Storm Sprazen. Drigger, man, he is here to play. He's not here to muck around. But counter break. I repeat, counter break right there. That's the end of Drigger, 2-1. Drigger 1 point down now. Drigger still not in a better spot, but he was in a better spot last round. Miss launch, obviously. Let's continue. Drigger, Sprazen, and that is 2 miss launches, but he gets out. Luckily, he gets out, because if that was 2 miss launches, Drigger would have took a point there. And that's how we roll. 2 miss launches and you lose point, you know? And if you somehow do 5 miss launches in a row, well, you lose the match. But yeah, Drigger, 2-2. Drigger going toe-to-toe with 2 of the best Hasbro duelators here. Drigger definitely proving supremacy over the other Baybreaker members, 100%. And he takes another spin finish, 3-2. 3-2. I repeat, 3-2. It is looking very possible that the Spin Emperors, the Supreme Four, might take an L here to the Baybreakers here. And it's over! 5-2. It is over right there. Drigger takes it right there. And that is a win for the Baybreakers. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, hit comment, hit subscribe. I really thought Luinor was gonna these two were gonna clutch it and take the win over the Baybreakers, but the Baybreakers, Drigger coming in clutch, defeating 3 Beyblades, 3 Spin Emperors. We're talking Louis, Xander, and Shu. He defeated all of them. So Drigger, the MVP for the Baybreakers right there. If you enjoyed the video, comment Storm, aka Storm Sprazen, Storm, in the comments below. I'll give you a heart. And yeah, see you in the next one. See you tomorrow in the next Beyblade battle.